I would just like to briefly highlight our engagement with the West Asia, North Africa and Gulf region. India shares historical, cultural, civilization links with West Asia, North Africa and Gulf region. The whole region, which is part of India's extended neighborhood, is of vital strategic importance to us. Despite the challenges of uncertainties in West Asia, our bilateral relationship with all the countries in the region have not only been stable but also diversifying into several new areas. The countries of West Asia, North Africa and Gulf region are endowed with significant mineral and hydrocarbon resources and have huge market for our exports to the region. The region is home to more than 7 million Indians who contribute around $40 billion in remittances annually. I am given to understand that around 5 crore people live on these remittances back home as part of their family members. Our economic and commercial engagement with the region is around $200 billion per annum, making it the largest trading regional bloc. The region is also source for more than 60% of our oil and gas requirements, critical to our energy security. The Maghreb region, which we call it North African region, is a major source of rock phosphate and other raw materials, a key input for our fertilizers. The sizable sovereign wealth funds of all these Gulf countries can offer significant platform for operations of Indian companies, particularly in infrastructure important for our socio-economic development and flagship developmental programs like Make in India, Digital India, Startup India, Smart City, Skill India, etc. There are regional variations in the population size and economic stature of countries located in this extended region. Gulf countries are comparatively well off owing to the huge hydrocarbon reserves, while some other countries in the north and eastern part of Africa, particularly around Horn of Africa, are relatively low in such resources but attain very high importance in our maritime strategies. A significant proportion of India's maritime trade passes through this region, which makes it pertinent for us to forge closer maritime shipping cooperation and coordination with these countries, especially with Somalia, Eritrea, Sudan, Egypt, Djibouti, they are very, very important maritime hubs. A small country like Djibouti is, through that country, 1,000 ships pass in a year. All the cargo ships from here to the Mediterranean Sea and other Western world. And it is also a hub for international naval bases. It's a huge base for ship logistics and other industries there, although this population is only 2 to 3 million people. While there are variations in terms of wealth and prosperity, the human resource indices are still very low in these countries. In the recent past, in the backdrop of fast changing geopolitical and strategic dynamics, the countries in the region are exerting special thrust on capacity and institution building. Because of our close and multidimensional linkages with India, they are looking towards India for collaboration in this area. This means that there exists tremendous opportunities for India to be partners in such initiatives. So at this point of time, I want to highlight that for a long time, this region has been very, very rich, while oil prices were more than $100 per barrel, and there are very, very rich economies. So they were all looking towards, the cost factor was not a very much conscious factor in their economic development and planning process. But because of the fall in oil prices and all the changes that are happening, the fast changing geopolitical dynamics in the region, the withdrawal of America from the Middle East, West Asian region, and there are socio-economic, political upheaval in this region. So these countries are looking towards India as a model, as a democracy, as a nation with the largest technical pool, and I think 800 million youth. So tremendous pool of skills. So this is one area. Secondly, as we have seen some of our scholars presented latest technologies. So while that some of these countries are still looking, because in countries like all these countries, the unemployment rate is as high as 60%. Apart from that, first of all, they want to address this unemployment problem. So for addressing that problem, they are looking towards India for collaboration in small, medium industries and IT skills. This is one area. Secondly, while they have been in the back footing for some time in the technology, but when they go for infrastructure development, they are obviously looking towards high-end technologies. So they need not go through the same process that we have undergone in an evolutionary manner, but they can leapfrog into new technologies that some of our friends here have presented. So it is a combination. The demand from these countries is a combination of traditional skills, small and medium skills, at the same time high-end skills where new technologies can be introduced in a leapfrogging manner, without going through the traditional process that we all underwent. So I think these are the challenges that the opportunities this region offers. And for example, as Ministry of External Affairs, we are doing a lot of things to cater to these demands, particularly in IT. We are setting up large number of IC centers in all these countries through technical cooperation, through our CDAC, and several other initiatives. So, and that will create, I mean, already the people are aware of Indian talent, but at the same time, we are trying to take this to the mass appeal. So, through our flagship programs in IT. So, IT is a very, very big scope. A large number of these countries in the region are asking for health sector. Of course, they have a huge shortage in doctors, nurses, paramedics. I mean, you name it. I mean, they are looking for these things. We are already training a lot of programs with these countries in different capacities. We sponsor these programs in order to create more demand for Indian skills and talent. I think this is the time that our people sitting here should take note and then take advantage of these challenges, opportunities. Power sector. Government of India is offering under lines of credit several loans, concessional loans through Exim Bank for power sector, because all these regions they don't have power projects. Earlier they were importing, buying at very expensive prices, but because of the changing economic dynamics, they are looking for cost-effective power establishment. So we are giving concessional loans to promote our power sector like BHL, private sector, all these things. So this is another area where they are looking towards India. And mining and production. Some of these countries are very rich in minerals. I mentioned Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco, Jordan. Very, very high in entire belt is rock phosphate, where 60-70% of our fertilizers raw material come from this region. And you know that fertilizer is a key to our food security. So there are already several joint venture investments in this fertilizer sector in countries like Morocco, Jordan, and in Oman. So this will facilitate, large number of companies from India are looking towards investments, and they are also trying to develop joint ventures back in India to deepen this cooperation. So the government of India has recently taken as initiative, we call it Pravas Kaushal Vikas Yojana, is a giant skill development initiative of MEA and the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship that will be launched shortly. The scheme is to part technical training to the immigrant workers through skill centers to ensure the safety and security of Indian workers, as well as enhanced skills set under Skill India mission to provide skill training, and certification as benchmark to the international standards. So there are also already a large number of Indians working there, but this labor force, we are planning to upgrade their skills who are already present there so that they cater to the changing technologies, number one. They also, as some of our in the previous session, maintained that the whole dignity to the skills is very important. That's why Government of India is taking initiative to upgrade the existing skills, give them, put them in a better employment bracket, and in terms of social status and the labor dignity, and also in their capacity to respond to the modern demands. So I think with this, the entire region, I could say, offers enormous potential for exports of skills from India, and also partnership. Even some of the sovereign wealth funds, some of the countries, they are very keen to join hands with some of our skill centers in India. We need to develop a database of the institutes which are offering such skills, I heard. But you have to you have to go global. I mean, while I appreciate the enormous talent and expertise that you people are developing in India, I'm proud of that, but that's not enough. You have to go global and you have to market yourself. And no matter how talented we are, unless in this competitive world we market it, I mean, we are not there. So this is the most important factor that I want to drive to this audience. So with this, thank you very much. I am happy that Indus Foundation has taken such a wonderful initiative. I am sure more and more. I am happy that this, I came all the way, although I have a parliament today and tomorrow, but I just have flown to this session to make sure, to feel that, Government of India, how much importance that we are attaching. I want to share with my friends here. So with this, I appreciate Indus Foundation for taking this wonderful initiative. Thank you, sir. And I'm looking forward for any questions in this regard. Thank you very much.